Welcome to Edupom EdTech. You're watching Expert Chemistry Lectures with Abhinav Kaur. In our last video, we discussed about Introduction to Solutions, and in this video, we will learn methods to express the concentration of solutions. This is also known as solute-solvent. This is also known as solute-solvent relationships. So students, what is solute? Solute means any substance present in lesser amount, and what is solvent? Any substance that is present in larger amount. So there are different methods to express the concentration of solute present in the solvent, as well as we can also express the concentration of different solutes, different solutes present in the solutions. For now, we will study all these formulas for the binary solutions. And what are binary solutions? Which only consist of one solute and one solvent. Okay, binary solutions are those which consist of only one solute and one solvent. We have studied all the classification in our last lecture. So first we have mass percentage. What is mass percentage? Mass percentage is represented as the mass of the component in the solution divided by the total mass of solution multiplied by 100. That means, for example, if I have to calculate the mass percent of solute present in the solution, then I can write that mass of the solute divided by total mass of solution multiplied by 100. And if I have to calculate the mass of solvent present in any solution, then I can write mass of the solvent divided by total mass of solution multiplied by 100. One example is, for example, if I am adding 10 gram of glucose, I am adding 10 gram glucose in 100 gram of water. So now if I have to calculate the mass percent of glucose, then the mass percent of glucose will become the mass of solute, that means the mass of glucose divided by the total mass of solution, that means 110 gram, where 10 gram is the mass of glucose and 100 gram is the mass of the solvent, that means mass of the water, multiplied by 100 because it is in terms of percentage. So this is how we calculate the mass percentage. Second is volume percentage, which is also called as V by V, whereas the mass percentage is also called as W by W, that means weight by weight, and here V by V stands for volume by volume. So what is volume by volume? Volume by volume is volume of that component upon total volume of solution multiplied by 100. That means if I'm adding 100 ml of glucose, in if I'm adding 10 ml of glucose in 100 ml of water solvent, then the volume percent of glucose will become the volume of solute, that means volume of glucose divided by the volume of solution, that means volume of solution will be 110 ml in the ideal condition multiplied by 100. So in case of volume percent, we write it as volume of component divided by total volume of solution. If the component is solute, then the volume of solute, and whichever solute it is. For binary, there is only one solute, so we can say for binary it is volume of solute divided by volume of solution, and volume of solvent divided by volume of solution and multiplied by 100, because it is in terms of percentage and it is also in terms of percentage. Now, the another unit which is commonly used in medicine and pharmacy is mass by volume percent. Okay, it is mass by volume percent. It is also called as W by V, that means weight by volume. So in this we write it as the mass of solute divided by 100 ml solution. Okay, by default we take 100 ml of solution. Okay, so whatever is the mass of solute which is dissolved in 100 ml of solution, we can calculate the mass by volume percent for it. Okay, and if the solution is not 100 ml, then there are other method also, and we can also use this method in which we will write it as the mass of solute or mass of solvent divided by the volume of overall solution multiplied by 100. And if we are dissolving solute in 100 ml of solution, then we don't need to multiply it by 100. It will simply become the mass of solute divided by the mass the 100 ml volume of solution. Okay, now next is parts per million, and then we have mole fraction. So we will have to discuss a little more about both of these. So let's move on and discuss both of these. We know that solute plus solvent give us solution, and for binary solution we only have one type of solute and we only have one type of solvent. So let's say the number of moles of solute is Na and the number of moles of solvent are Nb. Similarly, the mole fraction is Xa and the mole fraction of solvent is Xb. So now if the number of moles of solvent are far greater than the number of moles of solute, okay, in that case parts per million, the concept of parts per million is applicable. So the concept of parts per million is best suitable for infinitely dilute solutions, okay. Whereas if the number of moles of solute are lesser than the number of moles of solvent but both of them are comparable, okay, that they see obviously the number of moles of solvent will be greater than the number of moles of solute, because whichever component is present in the largest amount is called as solvent. So obviously in any case the number of moles of solvent will always be greater than the number of moles of solute. But if they are comparable, then the concept of mole fraction is applicable. But if the solution is at infinite dilute state and number of moles of solute are far less than the number of moles of solvent, then the concept of ppm is applicable. Now let's get back to the formulas. Here we have parts per million. 1 ppm, then that means 1 parts per million is equal to the number of parts of that component divided by total number of parts of all component in the solution multiplied by 10 to the power 6. Now what you need to clearly see is that we are writing parts instead of moles, okay. So why we are using the term parts instead of term mole? It is because sometimes the number of moles of solute are lesser and far lesser than 1 mole, okay. That means the number of moles of solute are very low as compared to the solvent, and the solute is only present in parts. The number is not even equal to the value of 1 mole, that means the value of Avogadro number. So I write it as number of parts of that component divided by total number of parts of all component in the solution, that means the parts of solute and the parts of solvent, multiplied by 10 to the power 6. Now next we have mole fraction. So what is mole fraction? As we already discussed, mole fraction is applicable when the solvent and solute are comparable. So mole fraction can be expressed by two different forms for solvent and solute. The conditions are same. The number of moles of solute are Na and the number of moles of solvent are Nb. So Xa, X is what we use for to denote the mole fraction. So Xa will be equal to the number of moles of solute divided by the total number of moles present in the solution. That means number of moles of solute plus number of moles of solvent. Similarly, the mole fraction of solvent will be the number of moles of solute divided by the number of moles present in the solution, that means Na plus Nb. So these are the two formulas by means of which we can calculate the mole fraction. And mole fraction, what you need to know, important point is that mole fraction of overall solution is always equal to 1. That means mole fraction of solute plus mole fraction of solvent is equal to 1. For any solution the mole fraction is equal to 1. And why so? Because Xa, the value of Xa is Na upon Na plus Nb plus Xb, that means Nb upon Na plus Nb is equal to Na plus Nb upon Na plus Nb, and we get 1 because all of them cancel out. So the mole fraction of overall solution is always equal to 1. I hope the concept of mole fraction and the concept of parts per million is clear. Now let's study a few more concepts, where the first concept is molarity and the second concept is molality. Let me clear the screen and then start. So first of all, molarity, it is represented by capital M, and molarity is equal to the number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of the solution. Okay, the number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solution. As I already told you that the physical state of overall solution is dependent on the physical state of solvent only. So here, as the solution is expressed in liters, so that means the solution formed is liquid. And if the solution formed is liquid, that means the solvent is also liquid. While the solute can be solid, it can be a liquid, or it can be gaseous. Okay, so this is the concept of molarity. Now next is molality, which is represented by small m, where molality is equal to the number of moles of solute the number of moles of solute present in 1 kilogram of solvent. Okay, so here it is solvent, while here it is solution means solute plus solvent. Okay, here it is only solvent, not the solution. See, here the solvent is expressed in terms of kilogram. That means in case of molarity, solvent is solid in state, while the solute can be solid, can be liquid, and can be gaseous again. So when we will use molarity and when we will use molality, commonly in the laboratory, molarity is used when the solvent is liquid and molality is used when the solvent is solid. Now there is one more, which is called as normality. Normality, it is denoted by capital N, where capital N, that means normality, is equal to number of moles number of moles of solute divided by 1, or I can write it as 1000 ml, that means 1 liter, that means 1 liter of solution. So what is the difference between normality and molarity if the formulas are same? There is only one difference, that molarity talk about number of moles of solute, whereas molarity talk about number of moles of solute, whereas the normality talk about number of equivalent moles of solute. And what are equivalent moles, and what is normality exactly, we will study in next lecture. Thank you.